Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. It's the third and final ODI of the series between India and England. Well, lots going on in Indian cricket right now. India announced their final Champions Trophy squad late last night, quite late. 11:40 is, I think, when we went live. But quite interesting. Two changes we saw there. Jasprit Bumrah ruled out of the tournament, and Harshit Rana coming in to replace him. On the other hand, you're seeing a Varun Chakravarti make his way in the team and Yashasvi Jaiswal being dropped. That's one of the topics that we're going to talk about in detail today. But Devashish and Naman joins me. Devashish, starting off with you, let's start off with Yashasvi Jaiswal right off before we head to talking about the match. Do you think it's an unfair call, or do you think you already had a lot of top order batters in the squad, and Yashasvi Jaiswal was going to be on the sidelines anyway?
I think it was unfair to start with, but what might have influenced the selectors in going ahead with Varun Chakravarti is that he adds more variety, and also the fact that Rohit Sharma scored 100. So I think the fact that Rohit Sharma scored 100, and in all probability Rohit and Shubman will open the batting, I think that there is a very less chance of Yashasvi getting a nod in. So that might be the reason that Yashasvi Jaiswal was dropped, but it is definitely very unfair on the youngster.
Bharat Ramraj also joins us. Bharat, what are your thoughts about Yashasvi Jaiswal being dropped? Do you think it's unfair, or do you think he might not have made his way into the playing 11 anyway, so it doesn't matter?
Yeah, I guess India are looking at the bowling options more than the batting options. So somewhere they wanted options in all departments, from spin bowling, even orthodox spin bowling, even disc spin bowling. So in different departments, I guess they wanted the options. So that is why they went like that and dropped Jaiswal. So yeah, it's bad from Jaiswal's point of view, but I guess India India have a reason for that, and that is basically with just Jasprit Bumrah now not being in the setup. They just want to cover up for all the bowling options.
Naman, your thoughts on Yashasvi Jaiswal?
Definitely, it's a shock that given that he was given the chance in the first ODI ahead of someone like Shreyas Iyer, it's shocking. But on the other side, Bumrah missing out, they really wanted to solidify their bowling, round it off perfectly well so that there's no leakage there. And I guess that is the reason why Yashasvi Jaiswal was put in as a reserve. And to be fair, he would have only been used if any of Rohit or Gill would have been injured. So he would have been missing out on the game. So that I think was just a move to solidify the bowling.
Devashish should talk about his replacement, Yashasvi Jaiswal, making way for Varun Chakravarti. At this point, we're seeing, in the T20 series, we saw some incredible performances from Varun. In the ODI debut as well, we saw a wicket being taken. What are you expecting out of Varun when we talk about the Champions Trophy? And do you think he walks into the team?
Yeah, on the current form, he definitely deserves a place in the side, but it will again be a toss-up between Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakri. I think it's a one spinner too many, and taking five spinners for me, I don't see. I think it's a one too many for me. And Washington Sundar will he get a game in the tournament? That's a big question that needs to be asked. Yes, you might argue that given the game against New Zealand, where New Zealand has a lot of left-hand batters, there is a case that Yashasvi Washington Sundar might be tried in the game against New Zealand. But then, if you win that game against Pakistan, would you be tinkering around with your winning combination? If India goes on to win the first two matches in the tournament against Bangladesh and Pakistan, will there be any opportunity to try perhaps tinkering with the winning combination, which I think will not? So in that case, where would you play Washington Sundar? Because Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel automatically picks themselves in the side, and you have to choose between Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti. So three spinners for me. I don't see India going in with a four spin attack. So in that case, I would say India. India has picked one spinner too many.
Bharat, what do you think? Dubai tracks is in. I think Bharat's internet is stuck. Yeah. Naman, why don't you take that? Oh, Bharat's back. Bharat, did you hear my question by any chance? I was asking, what are
I
your thoughts? Do you
I
think
also
India is?
was so can you just repeat?
Yeah, I was
I was
asking, picking up on
yeah.
what Debashish had said. Do you also think that India is going in with too many spinners considering the Dubai tracks?
One second.
No, I think Bharat is having some issue with his internet. Naman, why don't you take that question?
Yes, definitely there is a lot of spinners in the team at the moment. Three pacers. Given that Bumrah is out now, Harshit Rana comes in. So, but yeah, I mean, three of them are all rounders. To be fair, and India has been looking to just deepen their batting lineup. I think that is the reason of picking Washington Sundar ahead of, I mean, whoever they were picking. But yes, that might be the reason because of which they picked up Washington Sundar, giving something with the bat. I think Gautam Gambhir wants to lengthen the batting lineup there, and given that he pitches in with the ball as well early in the innings, that might be a bonus for him.
Bharat, same question to you. Debashish raised a point that India might be going in with too many spinners. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think, considering Dubai tracks, you don't need that many spinners in the team? You're on mute.
Defensive, it's a defensive move from the Indian setup, but that's what I said. They're trying to just cover up for all the bowling options in relation to Bumrah getting injured. So maybe they pressed the panic button a little bit, and they wanted to cover for every single bowling option. Let it be off spin, let it be left arm spin, let it be wrist spin, let it be little bit of wrist spin, let it be pace bowling. So that is how the Indian setup is looking at. I'm not saying that's the right way to go, but one can see where they're coming from. I guess they pressed the panic button a little bit, looking at the fact that Bumrah is not going to play. So they thought that let us cover up the bases for every single option that is there in terms of the bowling department because our batting lineup is quite strong. So this is where the weak link is, and let us try to solidify that particular department.
Sports fan, I just want to ask you, you've been dropping, very weird questions or let's say comments, but yes, we wanted Varun Chakravarti in the squad and now we're saying we don't want him. No, we're not saying that. Absolutely not. That's not what we're saying at all. I think you need to hear very closely to understand what we're trying to say. But let's look at some more comments. Crick info. I think the most logical decision has been made. There is no need for a backup opener in a short tournament like Champions Trophy. Also, now Varun Chakravarti has been included as per everyone's wish. Yeah, I think fair enough. All of us wanted, with the way that Varun Chakravarti was performing and being in the I think prime of his form, we all wanted Varun Chakravarti to make his way in, and that's a call management already took. Blue Tea Australia is like that student whose average marks in exam is 95 out of 100, whereas ICT is similar to that student who, even after scoring 30 out of 100, takes a deep sigh of relief. Wow, Devashi, this comparison of Australia and India.
Yeah, Australia means obviously they had this habit of doing well in bigger tournaments. So despite the fact that they are missing five key players, still Australia will be a force to reckon with. Means they are a side that cannot be underestimated in any format, be it one day T20 or one day. You cannot rule out a Australian team. And yes, they would be missing big time. Their three big fast bowlers in the Hazelwood, Stark, and Cummins. But despite that, I think that they will. They have that confidence going behind that. Whatever the situation is, they bring up their best when it comes to ICC tournament. And Steve Smith, yes, much of the owners will depend on Steve Smith and Travis Head, I mean, so because the bulk of the scoring will have to come from that. And remember, in Dubai and in Pakistan, you need to score. Means that is the secret of doing well in subcontinent. Is to score at least in the vicinity of 260, 270 plus. Means anything behind those scores, I think the teams will fancy getting past that total.
Yeah, let's get a point to it.
Yeah.
Uh, if Australia go on to win this Champions Trophy with Ben Dorsey, Nathan Ellis, and Sean Abbott, then other teams have to look at themselves as to what they're actually doing, because at least they could have selected Xavier Bartlett or Lance Morris. Maybe Australia are not taking this Champions Trophy very seriously. But if they go on to win the tournament with these three pacers, then other teams should really look hard at themselves as to what exactly they're doing. That they can't beat an Australian team with this pace attack.
Yeah. On the Yashasvi decision, Abhay Mishra has to say good choice. No need for Yashasvi Jaiswal if backup as a backup opener in Champions Trophy. There was no backup opener in World Cup 23. There was Ishan, and in this we have KL Rahul. All right. Nashli is saying Aksar provides the batting all-rounder that could give the batting depth, and playing Pant in place of him would just make India short of bowling options, especially given this is a 50 over game. Naman, you want to take this?
I mean, Pant would be coming on for not for Aksar but for KL Rahul definitely. Otherwise, it will just hamper the balance of the team that the management has created at this point. And Aksar, yes, he's a batting all rounder, but he has been pitching with the ball as well. He has been he has been delivering on all fronts for India. To be fair, picks up one odd wicket every now and then just keeps on adding on it. So, and given that how England has been suffering in the middle overs in this ODI series particularly, and even in the T20I. I mean, our spinners have done fantastically well, and putting Pant was never in. I mean, putting Pant in place of Aksar was never in question. It was always going to be KL Rahul, so that the balance of the team doesn't get affected because of it. And Aksar has been given the move up above KL Rahul just because they wanted someone to go and do that left-handed role in the lineup. And at this point, pushing KL Rahul down will always be a question, but Aksar has been finishing up what India had as I mean had the idea of doing it the way they wanted. So yeah.
I'm on mute. Edits by answer. Varun should have been in place of Sundar, and Siraj in place of Jaiswal. Jaiswal, that would have added extra pacer and experience of Siraj. Your thoughts, Bharat? I think Rohit Sharma quite made it clear of why Mohammad Siraj wasn't picked in the Champions Trophy squad. He spoke about his skills with the old ball. But anyway, Bharat, you want to clarify? Varun in place of
Yeah,
Sundar,
India
do you
could
think that should have been the case?
Yeah, India could have done that. That was the logical option, I guess, with Varun coming in place of Sundar. And if they really wanted an extra pacer, then yeah, go for Mohammad Siraj and take down Yashasvi Jaiswal. That was a logical option. But that's not how they're thinking. As I noted, they must have pressed the panic button somewhere. That with Jasprit Bumrah not there, that let us try to solidify all the bowling options, and that is how they gone about the thing. So yeah, it might not work out, but one can see where they're coming from. But the would have been logical option would have been, I guess, what he's saying. Varun coming in for Washington Sundar, and if they really wanted an extra pacer, then yes, take Mohammad Siraj as well, because yes, the experience at least with Jasprit Bumrah not there. If you pick Mohammad Siraj, then you would have got some experience, bolstered the squad.
Now on to today's match. I think and Champions Trophy as well. Mixing the two tournaments that we're seeing right now, series and the Champions Trophy tournament. I think one of the biggest questions or debates that we're talking about is who will be the wicket keeping batter. I think with the way that KL Rahul has batted or has made his way into the team, it's pretty clear that management sees him as the first wicket keeper in the team. But at the same time, questions, fans talking about Rishabh Pant warming the bench. Do you see a Rishabh Pant coming into the team today? Devashish, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely, he should be. He should need a game time, and that's the reason he should get a game before heading to the Champions Trophy. And one more thing that I would like to make point out is that um, um, with KL Rahul going in at number 6 and also not doing well, means because with Akshar Patel going well in number 5 position, you need to have someone coming in at number 40th over or 35th over. You need someone like a Rishabh Pant rather than a KL Rahul, because he can go and take the attack immediately from the word go. So I think in that case, yes, and for that matter, I would love to see even Arshdeep Singh getting a game today against England in the third ODI, because that's the only opportunity, because there are no warm up games. So that's the only opportunity that you will get in trying and seeing, because these players needs game time. You just cannot throw them straight away into the match. So yes, and Rishabh Pant, if I would rather love to see if the team management decides to send KL Rahul at number 6, I would rather have Rishabh Pant going in at number 6. Number 5, I have no problem. Number 5, I have no problem. But if you are persisting with KL Rahul at number 6, I would rather have a Rishabh Pant who can take, because invariably with 5 wickets, I think it will be around 40th over or 30, around about that. So Rishabh Pant can play that aggressor role and perhaps play the finisher role rather than KL Rahul.
Okay. Naman, what do you think? I was looking at the comments, but let's talk about KL versus Pant debate. At this point, do you think Rishabh Pant might make his way into the team?
I mean, to be fair, everyone deserves a chance just to get themselves going, get themselves in the mindset of playing a big major tournament in the next few days. So that would be the ideal option. But however, I believe that given the Champions Trophy lineup, I mean the team is out. I feel India might line up according to that, the team that they would like to play in the first match against Bangladesh. So I think that will be the way the management might be looking at. But yes, like Devashish sir put it, that uh, KL Rahul at number 6 is not the ideal option, not the best option for India. They need someone aggressive. And in a way, I believe that that is something that Hardik can do, so that Hardik is there to finish it off. But KL Rahul at number 6 is not a great option. He should be coming a little up the order, but that is what they want Aksar to do. So it's a bit confusing what KL Rahul role is in this team. To be fair, Rishabh Pant, although being the aggressor, being the counter-attacking batter, his best numbers in the ODI format has come at number 5 position. He averages somewhere around 40, 44 in ODI at number 5 position. So Hardik is there to finish off things for India. But yes, there is always going to be confusion what actually the team requires from KL Rahul, given that he is not coming at his ideal position. Is he I mean, are they just keeping him to uh, come at the hour, come at the man like situation, that if India comes into a situation like 10 for 3 or somewhere around there, and they need someone who can just calm the situation down in the middle. So I think that there's a confusion whether what KL Rahul's role entails.
Clarity is, is there no clarity when it comes to KL Rahul's position? But more questions. I saw a good one. Edits by Anzar. Sorry, this is an ICC tournament and small tournaments and a small tournament, so pressure is high. Rana and Arshdeep have played only 10 ODIs together. Siraj should have been there, and he is more experienced and played more pressure. Is experienced. Bharat, you want to take this comment?
Yeah, but I guess this is a connecting point to what we have already discussed. Somewhere India have pressed the panic button. We like it or not, they have kind of pressed the panic button in relation to Bumrah getting injured. So that is why they picked all the spinners. Yes, in terms of Siraj, it could have got in for Jaiswal. That would have been the ideal option. If they really wanted to take out a batsman, then they could have got Siraj into that particular mix, because they at least had some experience. He might not be at his best in terms of what you can say in terms of fitness, in terms of where he is, in terms of his skills at present. But he definitely has the experience. He has done well in ODI cricket. And one shouldn't mix formats. He might have struggled a bit in Test cricket, but he's done well in ODIs. Considering all that, logically, he could have been there with Jasprit Bumrah not there in the ODI squad. But that is what the Indian selectors have thought of. They have picked quite a few spinners, maybe too many spinners. thinking that we will try to have a spinner for each of the categories or options, from left arm orthodox to wrist spin to off spin, trying to cover up all the bases. And this is the squad that they have selected. But ideally, yes, Mohammad Siraj should have been there for his experience.
All right. Can't understand the concept of non-traveling reserves. What's wrong if they travel with the main squad? Well, they'll already take 15 people. So any more than that, I think it's the rules first of all that you can't take more than 15. No, sorry, you're on mute, Devashish. I can't hear you. Your earphones. No, very muffled. It's very muffled. No, I can't. Yeah, sure. But yes, you're already traveling with 15 people, and then what's the point of traveling with more 4 and 5 more players? I think that's the case here. But this is for Debashi, so we'll take this comment later. More comments. Web of Taragi is asking, Bharat, you take this one. It would be foolish to undermine Aussies even with the absence of big names. They are dangerous. If they qualify for knockouts, in knockouts, they become robots and come and do their job.
Yeah, the same point I'm saying. I would have agreed with him if they had picked Xavier Bartlett or Lance Morris. At least they had some raw pace there, though they're inexperienced. But that's what they've done. They've picked Sean Abbott, they have picked Nathan Ellis, and they have picked Ben Dorsey. With great respect to even Nathan Ellis, he's a good T20 bowler. But if you look at his list A record, in list A cricket, he's not done much. He averages 30 in even list A cricket. So looking at that pace attack, it would take a major surprise if they go on to do something big in this particular tournament. And if they do something big in this tournament, then as I noted, other teams have to look hard at themselves, because allowing a pace attack with Ben Dorsey, Nathan Ellis, and all these guys, if they go on to win the tournament, then they don't have something really remarkable.
Sorry, my bad. I was on mute. I was asking Devashish, your point about traveling reserves. What were you saying? I still can't hear you. Your voice is very muffled. No, we can't hear you.
I don't know.
Perhaps remove them and
Yeah, try to just.
Can you hear me now?
I think you should disconnect your earphones.
1 minute.
Oh, that's better. That's better. Wait. Oh, it's gone again, unfortunately. It was fine for like a split second, but then more trouble.
Is it okay?
No, it's not. No, it's muffled. Very
A
muffled.
bit better. Just I think he needs to press them. I think there's some issue with the earphones.
Which one to press?
Both.
Is it okay?
No, we can't hear you, unfortunately. I think it's better if you just disconnect them. Yes, there's a question waiting for you. That's why. Okay. I had seen a really good comment here, which I have now lost because a lot other came in. Someone was saying, they would play KL Rahul at number 4 and Pant at number 6. Who are you dropping? That's the question. If you want to do that, who are you dropping? Are you dropping a Virat Kohli, which is not what will ever happen? Are you dropping a Shreyas Iyer, which is something that shouldn't happen? Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill are performing at the top. Akshar Patel is quite set at his position, so you really don't have anyone to drop in the team right now. How come a Ferrari? I think this is an interesting comment. How come a Ferrari like Pant is resting in the garage? Well, that's what you have to do when you have other multiple expensive cars as well. You have a McLaren and an Aston Martin, so many others. So there's a Ferrari just, warming the bench. But more. Okay, hey, I found it. Saurav had said this. Saurav, why don't you suggest, who will you drop out of the squad to accommodate this batting position? But Devashish, you're back. Can we
Am I
hear you?
audible? Am I audible now? Am I audible now? All right. Sorry. Uh, can't understand. Yeah, that is what I am saying. What's the point? BCCI is a rich body, so they could have easily sent those three untraveling reserves. Means that all sorts of term coming in. Untraveling reserves. I think they should have easily sent. They should have easily sent them and stayed with the team. Stayed with the team. Perhaps Mohammad Siraj bowling at the batters, that would have given them a good practice. They already had three pacers in Hardik Pandya, Harshit Rana, Mohammad Shami, and Arshdeep. But still, Mohammad Siraj in the nets, or for that matter, Shivam Dubey. So it's baffling. It's baffling. But is it in any way that you cannot send a traveling reserve? Bharat, I'm not too sure about the rule.
I think there's only a set number of players that you can take with you on tour.
But 15 is all decided, but you can easily take traveling reserves. If I'm not wrong, Australia, are they taking any traveling reserve with them?
You can take traveling reserves. We saw in the T20 World Cup, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
India
you
had
can
taken
take traveling reserve.
Yes. And also last year during the World Cup, England had taken one traveling reserve. That was 2023 World Cup. Jofra Archer obviously got injured, but they had taken one traveling reserve for that 2023 World Cup. So it depends on
Exactly.
It depends on the board, basically. Saurav has answered our question, my question. India should play KL at 4 today in place of Iyer and play Pant at 6. Again, only for today's game, so KL and Pant can both get game time. But does that solve any problems? Does that solve your problem of KL versus Pant? It doesn't. It just confuses you more. So, what do you think about this, Naman? Is this something completely
I
out of the box that
mean,
India
no.
should
If if KL Rahul performs at number four, then you are bit in
and
I mean,
Pant at 6
complex
as well?
situation. Yeah, it's a complex situation. Then what are you going to do? Iyer comes back in the spot when the Champions Trophy comes in, and KL Rahul is again confused. Where is he going to play? 4-6? Where? I mean, that is like
Regard,
I said. Yes, sir.
no,
Yes, sir.
sorry. Regarding the traveling reserve, Australia have a traveling reserve in Cooper Connolly. So he is the traveling reserve for Australia. So there is no hard and fast rule that you cannot take a traveling reserve. I don't know what in the BCCI being a richest body, one of the richest body, they should have easily taken those three traveling reserves and they could have easily stayed with the team. What the point of rushing in if someone gets injured, then you rush a player? Means he could have easily stayed with the team, practiced with the team.
Oh yeah, I think you have a really good point there, Devashish. Quite interestingly, the pitch that is being used today is also the pitch that was used in the World Cup final, the black soil pitch. So a little fun fact for you guys there, but not very great memories of all of us when we look back on that World Cup. But more questions because it's fun talking to you guys. Praveen is saying, I will choose Rana and Arshdeep for India versus Pakistan solely because they don't know anything about Rana and Pakistan. And, oh, sorry, Rana and Arshdeep and Pakistan does have problems with short ball bowling, short pitch bowling. Bharat, your thoughts? Oh no, Bharat is stuck again. I think he's joining us. He's back. Bharat, take this comment.
I will choose Rana and Arshdeep for India vs Pakistan match slowly because they don't know anything about. Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. First of all, is my internet had slowed down a little bit. That is why I went off and came back. Yeah, but that's an interesting way to look at it. I seriously won't take both of them. I would just, if needed, take only one of those two bowlers because you don't need so many pace bowlers in Dubai. I understand occasionally in the afternoon session they sometimes leave a little bit of grass in Dubai, which we saw even in the Women's World Cup. Maybe the first match or second match that they will play, there will be a little bit in it in the first 10 overs, but in that heat, I don't think you need so many fast bowlers in those conditions. So I would just pick one out of those two. Maybe someone like Arshdeep Singh, because he's a left-arm bowler, swings it a bit. It's a good short ball, surprise short ball with his height. He did well in the T20 World Cup game against Pakistan as well. I think he's just the kind of bowler who could give Pakistan some kind of trouble up front. So most likely I would take that left-arm bowler alongside Mohammad Shami and Hardik Pandya, and obviously then the spinners.
The toss.
Yeah, I would also go with with Bharat. Means obviously you need to pick Shami in that playing 11 because when he is in the team, given the wealth of experience, yes, he's coming back after an injury, long injury layoff, but still in a crunch game against Pakistan, you should always go with experience. And Shami, for me, Arshdeep, Shami, and Hardik, those will be the three pacers along with the three spinners. I totally agree with Bharat.
Yep. More questions there is. Okay, Debashish, there was one here specifically addressed to you. Kishore Mishra is asking, KL Rahul is 33 years old, but never reached his prime throughout his entire career. Why is that? Do you agree that KL Rahul has...
only reason is that he doesn't have a permanent batting position. And he is always the what scapegoat, means when it comes to batting order. And any player you want to try out his batting position, it has to be KL Rahul. So I think that has done injustice to KL Rahul. I think someone asked that whether to try KL Rahul at number 4. Then again, once again, you are being unfair to Shreyas Iyer, who has done tremendously well. Means there is no two ways about Shreyas Iyer being experimented at that point, because he has done and you should stick with it, because there has to be it's not T20 cricket that you have to be flexible. Means obviously, yes, depending upon the situation, you can promote just as was the case with Akshar Patel, but KL Rahul should have a fixed batting position, and it is number 5. Yes, you have tried with Akshar Patel, but I think it is unfair on KL Rahul, and that has been one of the reasons that he has not looked that great when it comes to his batting.
And this is something I wrote about yesterday. Let's see the toss update.
It's happening.
But this is something I wrote about yesterday as well, is that, when KL Rahul first entered the scene, or when he was pretty new in the team, his versatility was one of his biggest strengths. Now has it, become his not Achilles heel, but something that sets him back. It's
England. England won the toss and decided to bowl first.
3 out of 3 tosses they've won in this series. Not one went India's way. They're going to bowl first. Last 2 matches they batted first. So let's see. I think this has a lot to do with dew as well. Freaking Awesome has a comment here. If the dew sets in, India should field first. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Freaking Awesome. Otherwise, better they bat first. Ahmedabad is a good sporting wicket. 270 to 280 is a good score there. Bharat?
Without seeing the wicket, a little bit difficult to say, because in Ahmedabad sometimes with the weather around in the afternoon and all, you will get kind of slow pitches. That's what we have seen even in the World Cups, and when the pitch is kind of slow, even scoring 260, 270 becomes a little difficult. So it depends on the kind of wicket they have prepared. If it's on the slower side, then it would be a little difficult to get to 280. And yes, you get a little bit of dew there. It's not just dew. This soil is such that somewhere with in night conditions, it seems to skid on a little more in Ahmedabad, and it kind of favors the batters. So it would be interesting to see how India go about batting first in those conditions. If it's a good pitch for batting, obviously try to get as many runs as possible. Even if they score 300, great. But many enough occasions, the pitches in Ahmedabad are on the slower side. Then perhaps 280 or 270 could be a winning score.
And Gargi, England have made only one change. Tom Banton immediately gets in ahead of Jamie Overton. So that's the only change for England. Don't know about India. Means, we are yet to get. By now, we should have known.
Yes,
It
I
would be
have no
interesting.
idea.
What's their playing 11 for India? Means I'm only. What would be whether Rishabh Pant gets a nod or
Rohit Sharma has said that he wanted to bat first as well and put some runs on the board. So a good toss to lose, I guess. There, what we're waiting for is the playing 11 because we're all highly anticipating, or just looking forward to who will be in the team. Will it be KL Rahul? Will it be Rishabh Pant? I think that's the biggest question as of now. Um, let's see more questions. Oh wait, no, that's not the one. Um, all right, Dr. Sneha Singh, the people who are raising
okay?
questions on,
We have the team now.
we have it.
Three changes for
Yeah,
India. Jadeja,
we
Shami
have the team
rested.
now.
Varun misses out with a sore calf, it seems. Kuldeep Washington and Arshdeep are in.
Good.
Okay,
But
all
still,
right.
still no Rishabh Pant.
No Rishabh Pant. So it's set. I think at this point it's set that KL Rahul is your first choice wicket keeping batter in the
Yes.
tournament, and KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant is there as the backup and nothing else. So, okay. Finally, India playing 11. I have it on my screen. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Akshar Patel, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Harshit Rana, Kuldeep Yadav, Washington Sundar, and Arshdeep Singh. So the team changes that you're looking at is obviously Kuldeep Yadav, Washington Sundar, and Arshdeep Singh are in the team, whereas Ravindra Jadeja, Mohammad Shami, and Varun Chakravarti are out of the squad. I think this is just Varun Chakravarti has a sore something calf.
So calf. Right
So
calf.
calm.
So that's, I think that's the only forced change. Otherwise, I think the Indian management is just testing out everyone and giving them enough game time here. But Devashish, no Rishabh Pant. Thoughts?
Yeah, I would have still went in with a Rishabh Pant. Means to miss out on 3 matches on the trot. That is something very disappointing on Pant because he would have definitely liked to have had a go. But unfortunately, yes, the team management relying on KL Rahul. It would be interesting what batting order KL Rahul goes in now that the Indian team is batting first. Yes, on previous 2 occasions, India chased. So and that was the reason that Akshar Patel was promoted, trying to up the scoring rate. But it will be interesting whether if you lose 3 quick wickets, obviously your go-to man has to be KL Rahul because he not only can anchor your innings but also have shots and he can accelerate. So I think it will it's a good move in sticking with KL Rahul, but somehow or other you need to have a position for Rishabh Pant. So you can easily understand that Yashasvi Jaiswal is not part of that squad. He is being rested. Ravindra Jadeja, he has already picked 6 wickets in the 2 ODIs, so he is definitely he is a certainty. Varun Chakravarti has a sore right up. All. It's absolutely fine. That the similar thing that Arshdeep needs a game time, so he has been given a game time. But on that case, Rishabh Pant also would have deserved a place in that playing 11 since he is in the 15 member squad.
Naman, should Rishabh Pant have played? Would you have personally, picked him in the playing 11?
I mean, obviously, everyone like it's been said that everyone needs some game time before the Champions Trophy comes in because it's been long since India played a good series of ODI matches over the last year since the 2023 World Cup. So, I mean, Rishabh Pant should have at least gotten one game, if not the final game, earlier in the series. He should have gotten at least one game so that he also gets into the rhythm. He gets into the mindset that now he's playing limited over format. So he needs to and give understand where in the team what position he's going to come out for them. So that would have been a plus. But I think Rohit has been backing KL Rahul since long. So he has stuck with him. He wants him to get some overs in the middle. That's what they are trying to get before the Champions Trophy starts. So I think that's the thinking of the management here and even the captain.
Yes. Okay. Kartikeya Vats is saying this means Arshdeep missing first two games was because team management knew he was confirmed in the Champions Trophy and wanted to try Rana as a backup. We've been saying this, that the only reason Arshdeep wasn't in the team is because they know that he has secured his place. And today I think it's about him getting some game time before heading into the Champions Trophy. Praveen is saying my choice is KL Rahul. If India were 3 or 4 down in the first 10 overs, you need KL to steady the innings because he is good against pace and spin. Bharat?
Yeah, that's the one way to look at it. We have seen it in the past that whenever India are chasing 200, 220, like we saw against Australia in the 2023 World Cup, that he was the man who studied the India ship or shepherded India to victory. But the other way to look at it, obviously, I'm just looking at both sides of the coin. The other way to look at it is if India need to ramp up the run rate, there's something like 240 for 4, say in 35, 240 for 4 in about 40 overs. They need someone to come in and just play counter-attacking innings, or even 200 for 4. Let's say 180 or 200 for 4. Then maybe at number 6, KL Rahul is perhaps not the best batter at that particular position. That is at number 6 slot when you need a counter-attacking innings, or someone who can come in and slog in the last 10 overs. So there are two ways to look at it. The best thing for KL Rahul is to just play his natural game. He has the shots. Sometimes I feel he gets a little too intense, be it batting at 5 or be it batting at 6. It seems like he thinks too much about what could happen, against which bowler he has to really ramp up the run rate, who is that particular bowler he has to target. So all these things, it seems to revolve in his mind, or echo in his mind all the time. Maybe just play your natural game. If a ball is there to hit, just go there and hit it, and don't think on the lines. Like he only said that I was thinking Mitchell Stark in the 2023 World Cup final has one more spell. I have to play through that particular spell. All those things I was thinking about. So maybe don't think so much about the future. If the ball is there to be hit, just go and play your natural game.
Devashish, one comment here by Siddharth. I feel Bumrah doesn't want to miss the England tour, which is obviously, the more, let's say, logical thing for him to do is to rest during the Champions Trophy because he is not 100% and then focus on the England tour. Maybe he will miss IPL as well. That is not happening, my friend. He is ambitious of winning the series as captain, and rightly so. England series far greater than any World Cup or Champions Trophy. Devashish.
Yeah, absolutely. And in all probability, we assume that Bumrah might lead the Indian team in that series against England. And it's been quite some time. Means last time we won a series against England was back in 2007 when we won that test match in Nottingham, Trent Bridge. So yes, in India, since then have won test matches. But when it comes to winning the series, the best chance was that the last series where in that last match got called up because of COVID. They had a golden opportunity of winning that series, but yes, I think by not risking Bumrah, and that is very fair. Means no one would argue that Bumrah needs to be preserved with Cotonou, and he is your go-to bowler. Means given the way he performed in Australia, I think Bumrah will definitely, for India to win a series in England, Bumrah has to be fit and fine. So yes, fair call. But as far as I miss him missing IPL, I have a lot of doubt. And definitely, he will play for Mumbai Indians in the IPL.
Naman, I don't think Bumrah missing IPL is ever an option in this universe at least. But because you have commitments when it comes to franchise, they pay a lot of money for you as a brand, for you as a player, and these are just commitments, professional commitments that you have to follow through with. Your thoughts?
Definitely, Bumrah. I mean, missing out on the IPL, that is out of the question. Resting up for the England tour, that might be something that he might have looked up for at, because a long spell of, I mean, matches will come up in the IPL. So, Champions Trophy, I think, as Australian fast bowlers have also tried to exclude themselves from this tournament just to focus on the World Test Championship final, I believe. Bumrah is also looking in the England tour. If he's going to captain, if he's going as the captain, he would like to win that series and stamp his authority on this team. So missing IPL is out of the question unless it's a very serious injury, which is clearly not. Missing the Champions Trophy is just to get some rest before just to make himself mentally fit for the England tour as well, because there also he will be dependent upon a lot if other Indian bowlers do not back him up. So yeah, missing out on the IPL is out of question.
Bharat, more questions. Suman Avasti, Virat 100 coming today. Let's dive into this. Let's talk about Virat Kohli, because I think there's a missing puzzle piece, and that puzzle piece is Virat Kohli's form. That's what we've been talking about for the past two ODIs as well. It is not that Virat Kohli hasn't been performing in white ball cricket. It is just that it has been a tiny bit patchy, and after the whole, Border Gavaskar debacle, before that as well, you didn't see a lot of consistent performances from him, and time and time again, his one weakness was being exploited over and over again. That made us concerned about Virat Kohli's form. But right now, white ball cricket, we're still positive about Virat Kohli's form, and today is one opportunity for Virat to kind of get going, get that rhythm before heading into the Champions Trophy. Bharat?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli 100 coming up. I wish I was an astrologer who could tell that today he's going to score 100 or 80 or 90. That's not obviously in my hands or in his hands to tell what would be Virat Kohli's score. Yeah, if he gets a boundary or two away early on in his innings, then he would feel confident about his batting, and that would help him, and he might very well go on to score 100. See, white ball cricket, it's a little different for Virat Kohli. Obviously, there are no slips in place. There's less movement. There's some other issue. The one issue he has is these wrist spinners or left arm spinners who bowl wicket to wicket. That is what has kind of troubled him in white ball cricket. Obviously, with England team, they have Adil Rashid, is someone who has troubled Kohli time and again over the last 6 years by bowling wicket to wicket, a little bit of scrambled seam and get it to spin away from him. This obviously has kind of troubled him. So maybe that matchup of Adil Rashid and Virat Kohli will decide whether he would go on to score 100 or not. If he's able to get through that, or maybe if, say, for example, an early wicket falls, he comes out to bat at 40 for one against a slightly new ball, gets a couple of boundaries away, and then he comes out to bat against someone like Adil Rashid. Then he would have gauged the conditions. That would give him a better chance of handling Adil Rashid. Last match, what happened was straight away Adil Rashid came into the attack as soon as Virat Kohli came out to bat, and that kind of went against him in that matchup. So yeah, hopefully we'll do well. But I think his biggest threat will be again Adil Rashid. He has troubled him enough times in limited overs cricket. Let it be T20Is or ODIs.
Okay, final round of questions before game begins in a few minutes. So let's a comment on this. Devashish Kuneman banned from bowling. He's not banned. He's under ICC scrutiny. He's not banned yet, but there are definitely he has been reported for illegal bowling action. So Devashish, a word on this?
Yeah, I think as you have rightly said, he is not banned, but there is some problem with his actions which needs to be rectified according to International Cricket Council.
Yep.
Just had a point. I just had a
Yes,
joke.
yes,
I just had a joke on it. Yeah, I agree. It might be odd elderly, there might be a problem. But there's one particular spinner in IPL who somehow gets away from it. I don't know how, but yeah, that's just adding a joke when it comes to bowling actions. But yeah, that's the world of IPL.
And let's take predictions now before we close the show. Devashish, how many runs is India making, and who's winning this match?
I think India should, I would say that India should score anything around 300. Given that Rohit, we would love to see Virat Kohli scoring runs, but as Bharat said, that we are not astrologers sitting here and predicting what Virat Kohli's score will be. But still, I would say that if India goes on to score anything around 300, I think they will bat England out because their England batting clearly has been out of sorts against the Indian spinners. But the point is that Varun Chakravarti is not playing this match, so that might augur well for England in this match. But as far as their batters is concerned, but I would put my money on India winning this match and selling the series whitewash.
Naman?
Yeah, I mean, the pitch has a bit of, I mean, dryness. It might, I mean, it will get slow in the middle overs very quickly. So, somewhere around 270 plus might be a good score to defend on this pitch. And like Devashish said, that England batters have been struggling against the spin attack of Indian bowlers. I mean, Indian. So I mean, it's clear that even though they have been having a racy start of 70, 80 odd runs from the openers, they might struggle against the spinners. Even a Kuldeep Yadav might make them struggle. That is, to be fair, he has only got a few matches since his injury. So, but yes, India, if they put a score of somewhere around 270 plus, it might be a good total to defend and good thing to challenge their bowling attack in situations like these.
Bharat, is England saving themselves from a whitewash, or what do you think is happening today? Predictions?
Yeah, I guess I think they have two issues in ODI cricket at present. They seem to
Oh no.
oh,
Bharat's
batting.
internet has been. Okay.
Okay, I think I came back. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
or I came back from the dead. I guess so. Yeah, or maybe again it's gone. I don't know. But again, I
England
think
might be
one of the
hoping for
issues
that
is
as
the
well,
tempo
sir.
of their batting is not great. The other problem is, I guess, you look at the tempo of their batting, they get 70s or 80s, some of their batters, but they're not able to carry on and get those big scores in ODI cricket. Somewhere that also tells you that England have not played enough ODIs in the recent past. That could be one of the reasons. That is when you get that muscle memory. All these decades, Joe Roots of the world are only getting 60s and 70s. The other issue, two more issues they have. One is they have picked only Adil Rashid in their squad for the India ODIs and Champions spinner. They need more spin resources in these conditions. The third one is, I guess, they somehow keep having faith in Gus Atkinson. I don't really in these conditions.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our show. England will obviously be hoping to save themselves from a clean sweep of the series, and India will be hoping to clean sweep the series. So, as simple as that. But thank you so much, Devashish, Naman, and Bharat, for joining. We'll be back at 5. So, don't forget to join us then. Hopefully, by then, we're going to see India score some real big runs. Thank you so much.